Welcome to Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp.
And I'm Melissa Delp.
Today we're looking at Sarah's Singularity by Daily Magic Games. Sarah's Singularity is a 2 to 6 player set collection and simultaneous action selection game designed by Thomas Gutschmidt and published by Daily Magic Games. It'll be on Kickstarter October 24th.
Now the timeline is in trouble because Sarah has fractured it, stranding companions in the wrong centuries and creating paradoxes. So each player is actually playing as an earlier version of Sarah, and you're trying to rescue companions and complete missions in order to put things right.
Let's look at the prototype components. There are mission cards from different time periods and zone tokens. There's companion cards, personal objective cards, and Sarah cards.
During setup, you'll choose which time zones to play with, and then you'll use the companions, missions, tokens, and secret goals that go with those time zones.
Each player starts as a different version of Sarah, with a unique player power. You'll have 5 companion cards in your hand, and you'll also get a secret personal objective that can earn you bonus points at the end of the game.
The time zones are ordered from earliest to most recent. The top mission of each zone is flipped over, and a companion is dealt to each of them. Throughout the game, you'll be trying to complete missions by matching the icons on the companions to the icons on the missions. The point value for each mission is shown here.
You also deal 7 companions face up to make the prime row. These act as a countdown for the 7 rounds in the game. At the beginning of each round, Sarah Prime visits a location and drops off a companion there.
Then players secretly choose which time zone to visit and simultaneously reveal their choices. Turn order will go from earliest zone to most recent. If more than 2 Sarahs, including Sarah Prime, end up in the same time zone, a paradox occurs. Those players have to give up their Sarah cards and randomly get a new one. Their turn order will be chosen by the player with the chronologist token.
On your turn, there are several things you can do. You can pick up the companion and put it in your hand. If it's not from the same time zone, you've rescued it and get a token that can be used later as a wild icon. You can also lay companions. If the icons on the companions match, even exceed, the icons on the mission, you can claim it. You can also use your Sarah power during your turn.
You can do each of these actions once and in any order. When you lay companions, you're limited though to 1 card, unless all of them match your current time zone. So there's definitely some strategy into which time zones you visit and which cards you try to rescue.
After a mission is completed, you reveal the next one and deal another companion. So if there are more than 1 player in a spot, the next person still has a chance to complete a mission. It just might not be as good for them as the original.
You continue playing, choosing time zones, picking up companions, completing missions until the end of 7 rounds, or until 1 stack of missions from a time zone has been depleted. Then you add up your points from completed missions. There are also bonus points for having the most of a mission type. And of course, there are the personal objectives. Whoever has the most points wins and becomes the new Sarah Prime.
I think the time travel theme with all the different Sarahs makes sense. The mechanics of creating paradoxes, if more than 1 Sarah's in the time zone, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And you can be creating some interesting strategy, like if you don't like your power or someone else has a super awesome power, you can try to create a paradox.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of interesting decisions to make about which time period you go to. Do you go to that high point mission and risk other people going there too? Or do you play it safe and try to go somewhere you don't think people are interested in? Although, if you do have the chronologist token, you can guarantee that you'll get to go first. The only thing is you have no idea what Sarah power you'll end up with after the paradox. And then you also have your personal goals, so that will also influence where you choose to go.
The art is definitely different. Some might even say quirky. I didn't know what to think at first. When I think of time travel, I think of the beautiful art of time stories. This art has a fun, playful feel to it, and it works for the game. I really like some of the fun sayings on the cards.
So when I was setting this game up to play with some friends, they looked at it and they thought it seemed a little complicated because there were a lot of cards and tokens, but really it's actually a pretty simple game to teach and to learn and understand. There were a few rules that I had to, keep reminding throughout the game, but overall the game does make sense, kind of like Kevin was saying with the theme. It works together, and we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so if you like a fun, light game with a time travel theme, then check out Sarah's Singularity on Kickstarter.